AAPES is out and about this morning with some weather. Where do we find you, Stevie?
Good morning to you, Benny, mate. We have come to a new indoor parkour training centre in Tempe in New South Wales. For those of you who are not familiar with parkour, you might remember the opening scene of Casino Royale where James Bond chases a villain through a construction site. It's all about using your body to overcome obstacles, and we're going to be showing you some pretty amazing moves today. But let's get into the weather moves, and this is what's happening around the country on this Tuesday morning. Okay, check out a few of these moves. It's thought that parkour was developed back in the 1980s by a group of guys in France, but they have found videos of people doing this as far back as the 1930s. It just wasn't called parkour then. It really is just about overcoming obstacles and using your body in the most efficient way. Now, devotees of this sport or this practice are called traceurs, which comes from the French meaning to go fast, and we're going to be going pretty quick today with these guys at the new indoor training centre for parkour. Carl and Lisa.
It's really cool stuff, isn't it? I've seen the kids doing that around the place.
Great.
Dangerous.
Kids love a bit of danger.
Just climbing walls.
Good morning, everyone. We're checking out a bit of parkour this morning. This is 20-year-old Hisu doing a bit of a pop, a roll, jumping onto these makeshift buildings, simulated buildings, sort of sport that they do, or a physical discipline that they do outdoors most of the time. But he says the biggest part of this is definitely overcoming your fears. All right, we've got some more parkour coming your way. After we head to your place with the weather this morning, let's fly around the country. We'll start off in Queensland today. 14-year-old EJ. Now, he's only been doing parkour for around about a year. He was an overly active kid. He always did flips. And this is what you call free running. It's a similar physical discipline to parkour, but you throw in a few more flips, a bit more expression. It is a little bit fancier than parkour, but you can learn both of these disciplines here at the new training centre in Tempe. And it's not a sport. They don't compete against each other. This is about self-development and self-awareness. And a lot of it is about the mental challenges. It's finding out where your limits are and then overcoming them, which is a skill that these guys and girls take into the rest of their lives. Carl and Lisa, pretty cool,
discipline.
Huh? Yeah.
Incredibly fit too. Thanks, Stevie.
Stevie. Morning, Stevie.
Good morning to you, Lisa. We're in Tempe, New South Wales this morning. New indoor centre for parkour. This is a physical discipline. It's all about moving from one spot to the next as quickly as possible, and the movements have been developed to be as efficient as possible. It comes from the French traceur, which is slang for to go fast, and you can understand why they go pretty quickly. It is very physically demanding. It's all about mind, body and spirit. We've got more coming your way, but let's be efficient and get into the weather this morning, see what's happening around the country. Good morning. Okay, well, parkour has infiltrated a lot of the big movies in recent years. You probably remember Casino Royale, the opening scene, but also Spider-Man, Sherlock Holmes, Hunger Games, even Harry Potter. Now, a lot of the stuff that you see on the internet can be pretty dangerous, but mostly they practice on low-level railings, walls and buildings. It's all about power, balance, precision and self-belief, and it just looks cool. Carl and Lisa.
Thank you, Stevie.
Thanks, Stevie.
It is time.
Stevie, how's it doing?
Yeah, good morning to you, Lisa. When you get a group of parkour aficionados known as traceurs together, it almost looks like organised chaos, but all these guys have planned out exactly what they're doing. They know where they're going and how they're going to overcome these obstacles. And the best thing about parkour, it's not only a huge physical challenge, but a mental challenge as well. And it's one of those rare disciplines that you don't need any equipment. It's just you, your body, your mind, and you can do it anywhere. Whoa. Okay, let's have a look at the weather, see what's going on right around the country this morning. Good morning, Cairns. Live at the Indoor Training Centre for Parkour in Tempe this morning. And it is all about overcoming obstacles. Now, when you're approaching an obstacle, the methods of getting over or around it are unlimited, but in the next half hour or so, if you're keen on getting into this, we'll show you some of the basic moves. Now, their catchphrase here is train like apes, which is kind of suitable because when you watch a group of traceurs, it's almost like watching monkeys swing through the trees, but this is more like an urban jungle here this morning. Dickie?
Good indeed, Steve.
Good morning to you, Lisa. If you want to get into parkour, we're checking out some of the basic and most important moves. This is Monique, and she's showing a roll. That's all about getting on one shoulder and going across the diagonal of your back. Very important when you're coming off higher levels, because it's all about absorbing the shock and continuing your forward momentum so you can get into your next obstacle, which we'll check out right after this. Here's the weather around the country, and some cloud about today in Cairns, a top of 23 degrees. To learn in parkour is a precision, and as the name explains, it's all about jumping from one obstacle to the next and landing very precisely. That takes discipline and control, both physically and mentally. You want to use your whole body to jump, so you've got your momentum coming down on the next obstacle. And then, of course, you have the speed vault. That is all about moving quickly and efficiently over an obstacle without losing any momentum. Master a few of those and you're well on your way to becoming a traceur or an expert of parkour, Carl.
Indeed. Thank you very much for that, Stevie.
Good morning. We're checking out parkour this morning, which they describe as a holistic training discipline. It was actually developed from military obstacle courses. It's all about getting from point A to point B. All you need is your body, your mind, a little bit of momentum, and the ability to look at your natural environment in a different way and imagine the potential of what you can do. And we're checking it out at a new indoor training centre in Tempe this morning. Okay, we've got a little bit more to come right after we take a look at the weather at your place. Your indoor training centre in Tempe, you'll be able to check out a little bit of parkour. They'll teach you a bit of personal and corporate development. Get the kids to put down their computers and come and do a little bit of action sports, parkour training, self-defence. If you want to know more about it, go to apes.com.au. That's AAPES. It is all about getting yourself in tune and being the best person you can, mentally and physically. And anyone can do it, Carl and Lisa. I once saw Richard Wilkins leap a bar like this to get up to a bottle of gin.
During October.
All forms of life.
Thank you very much, Stevie.